Hey y'all, and welcome to Politibrawl. My name is Brian, and CNBC is just not having it because this New Jersey governor gets absolutely grilled and he refuses to admit the inherent problems of the Kamala Harris campaign. This is just wild. But before we dive in, I want to give a quick shout out to our great sponsors over at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have the cure to Biden inflation and Harris economics, but more on that later. Now, let's dive in.
You like Kamala Harris, not just against. So let me ask you, do you believe we should abolish the filibuster? And you can answer after I do it. How about getting rid of private insurance? How about taxing unrealized gains? How about nationalizing energy? How about mandatory gun buybacks like Australia? How about decriminalizing illegal crossings, ending cash bail, child gender reassignment surgery being paid for in prison? I mean, what are your, raising the corporate tax rate, what are your favorite proposals from Kamala Harris that make you like her so much? Which of
Joe,
those
for a Jersey guy, you sound like you're on the Trump campaign, for crying out loud. Come on, man.
Okay, well, which of those
you're
do you like?
cherry-picking stuff.
Which of those do you like? Which of those do you like? Which of those are you in? Are you in favor of ending the filibuster? We'll go one by one.
Yeah.
Are you?
It is. I'm not sure on the filibuster, honestly, but I think getting fair tax. So you're not going to
talk about any specifics of what's that?
I said I think fair tax policy is sensible.
What does that mean, fair? What does that mean, fair?
Fair means you pay what you should pay.
Well, you know I live in your state, Governor. Do you think if I pay 55% total, is that fair for me, or do I need to pay 80%? What would be fair for you? Because I live in your state.
I know, Joe, I said that up front. Believe me, I know you do. But you sound like you're on the Trump campaign.
No,
I don't know what the right number is, but
go ahead, Andrew.
Well, no, I was going to say what I think is potentially unfair. Is I think that there's a number of things. There are a number of issues that were embedded in those questions of the governor just now.
He didn't answer a single one about what he's in favor of.
Well, but I think there were a number of those things that she's not in favor of. And that's
Joe,
the
hold
point.
on a second.
She's on the record on every one of these things.
Governor?
Andrew.
Many years ago.
Governor?
Guys, hold on a second. We passed a millionaire's tax 5 years ago. Everybody, Joe, including you, said it would drive people out of New Jersey. We have more millionaires today than we've ever had in our history. So tax fairness isn't necessarily a bad thing.
We have a very progressive tax system. Do you think we have a progressive tax system in the United States? Do you think it's not progressive enough, or are you talking about billionaires? I'm not sure because you know how much the 1% does pay the lion's share of taxes, of federal taxes. So what does fair mean?
Color me open-minded. How's that?
I'm sorry?
I'm open-minded. I've obviously voted with my feet. We have a millionaire's tax in New Jersey.
Would you tax unrealized gains?
We're not a low-cost state to live in, but we give you an enormous amount back for what you pay.
Are you in favor of taxing unrealized gains?
Family.
But she has not made that
not
argument.
She's made the argument. She says she does want to. Go ahead, Governor.
No, I'm saying I'm not wild about on unrealized gains. But
what are you wild about? What are you wild about? Not Trump?
Here's what I'm wild about. I'm wild about a democracy that works. I'm wild about the rich history of our country continuing for the future. I'm wild about opponents having a voice and having a seat at the table, as opposed to being thrown in jail or hunted down by our military. That's what I'm wild about.
But we might throw Trump in jail. The Justice Department was not weaponized under Trump. It's been weaponized under the current administration.
We're getting real journalism again. I don't believe this. This is exactly what good journalism is. Just asking earnest questions and making sure that they're talking about the right talking points. They're answering what needs to be questioned. And this governor, bless his heart, by the way, the politically correct answer when you have been asked a question about national politics or federal politics, there's kind of a difference there. because the federal politics would be how it actually works. National politics, what is currently in the zeitgeist. And when you're asked a question about that, the answer needs to be, I care about my state, I care about the issues here. And the issue here is X, Y, and Z. And he didn't do that. He didn't do that because this governor is trying to be at least a little bit intellectually honest. He doesn't do a great job of it. But man, that opening statement from him after a whole list of Kamala Harris endorsed policies, which, by the way, a tax on your unrealized gains is insane and will kill the entire investment industry, which basically means you will never be able to get a loan. Okay? You will own nothing and be happy. That's what that will do. Hey y'all, I'm not exactly looking at retirement anytime soon, but my parents are, and friends of my parents are, and I'm sure either you or someone you know is looking at retirement and wondering, what do I do? How do I help prepare for this in this economy with this terrible president and with a vice president who basically coup d'etat him and is now looking to run for president herself? How do you protect against this? Well, simple. You go over to my friends at Colonial Metals Group. They quite literally have something called the Retirement Package Plan. This plan backs your wealth with gold and silver accounts. And furthermore, you will have direct access to these accounts. So you're not at the whims of Wall Street. You're not at the whims of inflation. You are in command of your own destiny. As a bonus, qualified applicants can receive up to $10,000 in free silver, plus a couple of other little goodies that they're going to package up for you, and you're going to be able to protect your wealth and your retirement. So go over to this link in the description below at colonialmetalsgroup.com or call this number 800-203-0422 and see how they can help you prepare for retirement today by backing your account with gold and silver. Don't delay your retirement, folks. Protect the money that you earned with Colonial Metals Group. They're here to help. And that has scared nearly every single real estate investor, even more than the moment that a judge incorrectly valued Mar-a-Lago because that judge is politically motivated and hopefully one day will get removed. There are a lot of people in positions that should not be there, and it's Republican and Democrat across the board. Americans deserve good government, and what we also deserve is some good journalism. Now, granted, I will have one minor quibble, one minor criticism. Once this governor finally answered an honest question, which policy do you like the most? He tried to drag out the answer from him. And the Democrat, you know what? This governor, good for him. I recognize good game. I respect that kind of game. But when you are effectively lying about your political positions in order to run point for a political candidate, you are officially in the category of propaganda, and you need to be called out for it. And the one quibble I have with the reporter is that he didn't try to hone in any other points. He stayed on one course, said, okay, you like the taxes, let's explore that. Not, you don't like all these other policies? Maybe that's because he can't do that. He's on CNBC, and they're of course owned by NBC. And NBC, like Disney, like ABC, they're not allowed to criticize. All right, their producers will get them in their earpieces and go, hey, you can't say that. That goes against our agenda for today. Don't say that. And Fox News actually does that too. Fox News actually pioneered the idea of how you're supposed to hone in on a message. And they did a great job for the American people because they were talking about legitimate issues. They were talking about problems in the Bush administration. They were talking about problems in the Biden administration. I remember driving to baseball practice, Little League. My dad was often the coach. And he would turn on WSB. And Sean Hannity, I remember, for some reason, in like 2005, 2006, he was talking about all these lobbyists that are just ruining Washington. And I thought, wait a minute, Sean Hannity's a conservative. Why is he criticizing George W. Bush? Isn't W our guy? Turns out he wasn't. Yeah, we need to have a longer conversation about W. and I'm glad that he's noped out of politics. But he's also gotten out of politics entirely because, well, with the rise of the internet, we're allowed to question certain things that he did, and we're doing it a little bit better than we were doing in 2004 and 2003 when the media got off of the 9/11 high and started really gunning for him. I would know. I was there. I remember this because I would, even when I would go to my grandparents' house, the deal was simple. I watch, I think, the PBS NewsHour with Granddaddy. And the deal was, I do that, I get my slice of pizza and a little bit of a Coke bottle, and I get to watch whatever Disney movie I wanted to. That was the deal. So I have been in the political zeitgeist since I was 3 years old. So I've been able to observe quite a lot. Didn't understand it until I was about 8 years old. Those were the days. And I think the days of good journalism are coming back in. Because this reporter was asking the tough questions on a historically liberal channel. Folks, the tide's turning. The tide is turning. Things are looking great. I'm unusually optimistic. I think this is a great example of what good journalism is. This is exactly how you're supposed to hold your politicians accountable. And it's happening on a typically left-leaning channel. Things are changing, and I'm here for it. Folks, my name is Brian. Hope you enjoyed that segment here on Politibrawl. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Catch you on the next one. And until then, y'all have a good one.